morning. Thank you for calling Serco. You're speaking to Karen. How can I help?
Oh, hi there, Karen. Karen, someone WhatsApped me over a link to your email as far as landlords and
Yeah.
offering up properties. I just had a look on your site, and I was just wondering what the protocol is basically.
All right. What's your name?
My name's Daniel
Daniel. What's your surname?
Woods.
Woods. Okay. Let me check. I'm just going to take all your details, Daniel, if that's all right, just in case the call drops.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
And then I can call you back. Have you got an email address, please?
Yep, it's TD, T for Tommy,
TD.
D for Delta, Kent, T for Tommy, D for Delta,
Oh, yeah.
Kent, as in the area, Kent.
TD Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LLP
Yeah.
at outlook.com.
Brilliant. Okay. So someone sent you some details, and have you got which part of the country are you in?
Well, I live in the Kent area, but we have properties in Birmingham, and my business partner is my brother. He has some properties down in Yarmouth.
All right, okay, great. Well, that's good then, because we do the northwest, the Midlands, and the east of England.
Yeah, I did see that on your website before I phoned you up. I just wondering how it all works, how long the lease is, and stuff like that, really.
Yeah, definitely. Right, well, I'll tell you what I can do. I can send you an email with all the information on, so all the benefits of coming with us, how long the lease is for, what we're looking for in family properties, HMOs, things like that.
Sure.
But basically what happens is we are looking for asylum accommodation in all those areas.
Okay.
Before we can take a property on, it has to be untenanted. We can't even look at a property if there's tenants still in it.
Okay.
All right, because we can't be seen to be making people homeless.
Sure.
So first of all, it has to be untenanted. I then have to know exactly which area it is in the Midlands, exactly which area it is in Yarmouth or whatever. So postcodes are always useful.
Yep.
Because then I have to check that us and the local authority are happy for that to be taken up.
Sure. Oh, well, do you work with the council then? Do you?
Yeah, we work with the local housing authority.
Right, gotcha.
So we work for the Home Office.
Right.
So the Home Office employ us to find accommodation and sort that accommodation out for asylum
Right.
seekers.
I'm with you.
We're a blue chip company.
Yeah.
So once we lease a property from you, you know that you're with a blue chip. We're a massive company. You've not got any doubts or concerns about us. The good things about when you rent your property out to us is we do the monthly maintenance checks.
Right.
We do the repairs and maintenance in the house. There's no management fees.
Wow.
We pay your gas, electric, water, council tax. And the good thing is there's no voids in your rent. The minute we take it, you get that rent every single month at the end of every month.
Right, and you're saying that you can give contracts for a minimum of 5 years, yes?
No, we can't. Does it say that on the...
On the website it says leasing up to 5 years.
Right, I'll have to check that because as far as I know, it's 6 years and 11 months.
Oh, so it's more than 5 years then?
Yeah, it's 6 years,
blimey.
11 months. And at any point in that 6 years, 11 months, if you give us 6 months' notice, time to house any residents we might have in there,
yeah.
If you give us that 6 months' notice, then that's absolutely fine. So you're not tied to it, but you do have to give us the 6 months.
Gotcha.
We do it 6 years, 11 months.
Right.
So that if it goes to 7 years, you have to then register for the deeds of the property and things. That's why we keep it under 6 years, 11 months and keep reviewing it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so, sorry, if I could just interrupt. If, say, you say you pay all the bills and that there.
We pay gas, electric, water and council tax.
Oh, yeah, that was my main concern with the council tax, because I had some I had the council chasing me for a council tax because I was renting out a property to someone. That is, obviously, because times are so hard at the minute, they fell behind with their payments on council tax, and then they basically vacated the property, left it in quite a bit of rent arrears. And I had the council that was coming after me. Obviously, I've squared it up now because obviously I just showed them the tenancy agreement. They said, well, the people that was in the property was liable for the council tax, so you know it can't fall on me because it was quite high. It was quite an high bill. So what happens then? Do you pay everything, and then what? The tenants pay you back, or?
We are the tenants.
Oh, right. So basically, they can move into the property, don't have to pay any gas, any water, any electric, any council tax. You pay all that for the person that moves in?
Yeah, well, we pay it. Yeah, we pay it.
Oh, right. So you could basically...
Because that person is asylum seeker, so they're not allowed to work while they're seeking asylum.
Oh, right. So they can basically have the property for 5 years, don't have to work, don't have to pay any bills?
No. I don't know. Not for the whole period they're there.
Right. Until they get asylum, then they have to start paying, do they? I just want to make sure, because I don't want to give out a property and then obviously I get bills run up or council tax paid up or this ain't paid or that ain't paid, and it puts me in an awkward situation as far as court fees. And because we had a tenant in there before that wasn't paying any rent, then we had to put section 21 on them, then they wouldn't move out the property, then we had to pay all the court fees to get them out and all that sort of stuff. So if we wanted to get a tenant out, do we still have to go through that same process, or do you take care of all that sort of side of it?
Yeah, well, we will be your tenant.
Right, so you will be.
So,
gotcha.
Yeah, so what happens is we take on your property as your tenant, and then we put asylum. We pay your council tax. That is guaranteed for the whole time we've got that property, the 6 years, 11 months, we pay all that for you.
Right.
We also pay your rent at the end of every month, come what may, no matter who is in there. Once we onboard that property, we your tenants.
Okay, and what if a tenant goes in there and, I don't know, they're causing a nuisance to the neighbourhood or anything like? Will you'll deal with that? And
we deal with it.
You get it all sorted out, so it's nothing that has to fall on my head.
We deal with it. We do monthly property checks, so we do all that. You know, if the tenants are behaving in a way that's causing problems, then we deal with that as well.
Right.
So we deal with that. We become the tenants and we look after that property. There's certain things in the lease that when landlords see it, they get a bit frightened about, which says things like you have to put a new bathroom in or a new kitchen after a certain amount of years.
Yeah.
Now, people get frightened about that, but it only says if Serco request it.
Right.
Now, if Serco request it, that will be because it's falling apart and it's not fit for purpose. It won't be because it's not this year's colours. Do you know what I mean?
I got you. And in the properties, what are they? Are they just normal family people? Because I don't know a lot about immigration. I mean, you'll know more about it than me.
Right, it varies. It varies.
Right.
There's far more families. I think if you were to probably base it on the small amount you might know from the media, you might think it's just all young men. It varies. It's young men, young ladies, it's families with children, lots of children who go into the care system because the parents have sent them over on their own.
Okay.
So we obviously don't house them because they go into the care system,
Sure.
which to me is just tragic. But it is families, it's single men and women. It's a variety. You can't choose who goes in your property because we have such a need for the properties. We just house in there who we think it's more suitable for. So if it's a family property, we try and put a family in there. If it's a HMO, then we put handfuls of people in there. So it really varies. Well, you'd be surprised at how many families there are, as well as single men and women. Sure.
Yeah, because you know what it's like when you see all this rubbish on the BBC and all that. They just show like all these young men coming over, don't they? And so
you know what? to me, and I've been talking to my sons about this.
Yeah.
The media, does it ever say anything positive about anything anymore?
No, it doesn't, to be quite fair with you. I mean, it is quite frightening. I mean, I'm surprised, in all honesty, that the government hasn't set up some sort of scheme like this for actual homeless people in the UK. It's strange, isn't it? Why they haven't sort of done this sort of scheme for all like the war veterans and all the homeless sleeping on the streets? Because I'm sure that they'd like an home and all their bills paid. I'm sure of it.
I know. I mean, there's so many different views on it, and that's one of the first things you think of, isn't it? War veterans and homeless people. And you think, hold on, if we're speaking in plain language, people think they're our own. What are we doing about them? There's countless charities for veterans. There's countless charities for homeless people. There's countless hostels and things like that.
Yeah.
The thing is, we've not had a choice in these people coming to our country. They're all over Europe, and we take miles less than anywhere else in Europe, believe it or not.
How many do we take in the UK then? Do you know? Or
if they what? Sorry.
Do you know roughly how many we take in the UK then, or is it just
not
sort
off
of
the top
random?
of my head. I just know it's significantly less than other countries.
Gotcha.
And other countries where they don't house them have major problems because they're on the streets.
Gotcha.
They're probably going to steal and beg to survive. So I get well, not you, but where are our homeless people? Where are our veterans?
Yeah, because obviously if they're on the streets, they might be committing crime and stealing as well, mightn't they?
That's a
Yeah.
concern for all of us, any of us who've got a heart. But this is another sort of avenue that we have to care for the asylum seekers that come to our country as well.
Yeah.
Because you cannot seek asylum unless you're coming from a country that you're seeking asylum from. So they can't turn up from any country and go, I don't like it there, so I've come over here. It's not as simple as the media makes out.
I'm with you. And so I suppose if they come over and they haven't got passports, I suppose you can't send them back if they ain't got a passport then, can you?
No, but then they still have to prove they're seeking genuine asylum.
Right, I've got you. But how would they prove that if they didn't know who the person was without a passport?
I don't know. I don't know. There's a whole other part of the Home Office.
Gotcha. I've just asked in these questions, just because I just want to know what sort of people are going to be going into my property. You know, we could have people coming over without a passport that are criminals.
No, they're not asylum seekers. Right. They would not be what we class as our asylum seekers. You can't seek asylum without the passport. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So that they would be treated.
So what happens to the people that come over without the passports then? They don't get asylum then?
What, those people who run off?
The ones who come over and haven't got any passport or any ID or anything like that, turn up on a boat. They can't. Right.
So we have to find ways of, are they seeking asylum or are they not? Like I said, I don't know the finer details of how we do that. But if they're not seeking asylum, I don't even know what happens to them. But they don't go in our asylum accommodation.
But I'm guessing if they're coming over on a boat without any passport, then there must be a seeking asylum because they're coming over, aren't they?
Some of them wouldn't have even had. They wouldn't have even had a passport.
Gotcha.
And they would have just thought, what can I do? I get on this boat, I come over.
Yeah.
And then we have to go through lots and lots of channels to find out if they are seeking genuine asylum.
Sure.
Which obviously there's all a chance. A lot of people come over and just run off. They've no intention of seeking asylum. They just run off. So
we could have a lot more immigration over here than we actually even know about then. If people are just running off.
Oh my God. Well, illegal immigration, yeah.
Wow.
Because if you come over here and do a runner, you are an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
And there is an awful lot of that people are coming over just for that, and it's criminal fraternity, it's trafficking, it's drugs, it's prostitution. They just do a runner. And you know what? Some of them have probably been promised the earth and said, come over, when you land, do a runner, come to this address, I'll look after you. Before they know it, they're working 20-hour days in a restaurant or car washes or they're getting involved. It's very sad.
It is sad. I mean, it's better for them, I suppose, to just park up in the house and get everything paid for them, I suppose, rather than being out on the streets and committing crime and that.
Well, or they might not be. They might just be working 9 we had a restaurant not far from where I lived.
Yeah.
It was about 2-3 years ago, and there was about 60 people sleeping in a... No, it wasn't 60. It was about 30 people sleeping in a room, a big room, that was meant to be like a big living room for about 10 people. There was 30 people sleeping in there, and they were just working in the restaurant for peanuts, really long hours. They were the sort who someone had said, come over here, it's the land of milk and honey. And they just did a runner, and then they've ended up being slaves, really. Yeah,
so it's better to come over here and go through the proper channels and then have the land of milk and honey and have everything paid for you in the legal way, basically.
Well, it's not everything paid for you. You only get it paid for you while you don't get everything paid for you.
Oh, right.
I mean, if you come over as an asylum seeker, you put in a holding centre.
Yeah.
Then you put in a hotel until we find a property. All you get is 3 meals a day.
Right.
You don't get anything else.
Gotcha. So that's all they get then. It's just 3 meals a day.
That's all they get. They can't claim anything while they're seeking asylum. They can't work while they're seeking asylum. So they don't get anything. They get the 3 meals a day. And
a roof over their head, basically. So
a roof over their head, and they'll get... and if you went to other countries where they weren't given a roof over your head, you'd soon see that we're definitely doing the right thing here.
Oh, yeah, I 100% agree with you. Okay, I mean, you've been very, very helpful. I'm glad you've answered a lot of the questions as far as that. As I said, my brother, he's got some places in Yarmouth. I think he's actually doing a block of 6 new build at the minute. I think might be finishing in about the next 3 months. So that's going to be no tenants in there at all. I mean,
yeah, it's got to be untenanted. So is this what your brother does? Is it what you do?
Well, yeah, I as I say, I've got 10 down in the Birmingham area. As I say, I'm in Kent. I don't live down that way, but we have someone that manages everything up there, and that's why when my friend sent me over the link to you, and I read through the email, because when he sent it over and he said, "Have a look at this," I couldn't believe it at first. I thought, this can't be right, surely to God. So then when I looked at it, I thought, well, this stands for me as a landlord, for someone to be able to maintain my property, guarantee my rent, and, no grief from councils or council tax or tenants not paying that. And you basically manage everything for me. I mean, for me as a landlord,
amazing, that.
Exactly, amazing. So that's why I phoned up just to...
benefit.
Yeah.
When I speak to people, that is the biggest benefit to them. No management fees, no worrying about void periods, council tax paid and the utilities. We go in and do all the checking and everything else. It's worth its weight in gold, isn't it?
It is. Do you also do the gas and electric safety certificates as well?
No, you have to supply things like that. But what I'm going to do is send you an email that's got all the lease standards in it. It's got what we're looking for in family properties and HMOs.
Yeah.
So it's got all that. It's got loads of information for you. It's got what we call a PCC pro forma on there.
Right.
So if you had an untenanted property and you wanted me to look into it further with a local authority, just fill that in and send it back. But the main thing is it's got loads of info that might start another conversation with us, might raise some more questions, but I'll fire it all over to you to have a look at.
That's brilliant, Karen, and thank you for your time.
You know what, my pleasure. Just let me check your email again.
Yeah, sure.
TDKEN TLLP.
That's it, yeah. TD Kent LLP, as in Limited Liability Partnership at Outlook.
Right, I get you. And your name's Daniel.
My name's Daniel, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I will send you an email over with all that on, and where you speak to your brother, do whatever. You can fire me an email with just one question, loads of questions. You can ring me on my direct line, whatever. Just give us a call and I can help you with anything.
That's lovely. You've been very, very helpful, Karen, and I'll be looking forward to your email.
Yeah, all right then, Daniel. Have a good afternoon.
Cheers. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bye. You too. Bye.
Wow. Well, there you have it. The government ain't set up any scheme for its homeless over here. It's happy for the veterans and all the other people to be committing crimes on the streets and all that. But as far as Asylum, I mean, that is an absolute touch. You haven't got to work. You only get 3 meals a day and a roof over your head, you know. They are undone by, really. And you get all your council tax paid for. You get all your electric paid for. You get all your gas paid for. You've not got to worry about a thing, guys. Now, the people, and this again, this ain't no racist thing, and this ain't no bullshit. This is a moral compass thing. Before we start worrying about, I mean, you heard it there. I said, what if I was going to have criminals in that property? You know, oh no, but everyone's checked. But yeah, but if people ain't coming over without any passports and that, and she's admitted you can't send them back, then we don't know who these people are. So they could be criminals, they could be into all sorts of stuff. And that's why I was just trying to feed information, basically, and try and get as much out of Karen as I could, which she's, to be quite fair with you, I mean, you wouldn't want her as your co-D in a crime, because she'd sing like a canary. She'd give it all up, just like that. But obviously she's trying to give you all the incentives to hand over your properties. So she's feeding you all the information that you need. So basically, they are hard done by. They only get 3 meals a day and a roof over their head. And, you know, it's not the land of milk and honey. But it is the land of milk and honey. Once you get put in a property, you don't have to pay any rent. Because basically what Serco is saying is they're the tenant. So they are paying everything. They're paying the gas, the electric, the council tax, the rent. And the person that's going in there isn't the tenant. It's basically subletting. Is that even legal? Also working with the council. So all the people that are over here, you know, in emergency accommodations or homeless, or all the veterans that are homeless, and all the people and all that. That's why I said to her, you know, shame the government didn't think of a scheme like this for all the homeless over in this country. Park them up for a 6-year contract, pay all their bills, don't have to work. But then when you do start working, you know, you will have to pay something. Well, they might not want to work. They might just, you know, I might as well kick back. I'm getting everything paid, man. I'm getting 3 meals a day. I'm guessing them 3 meals a day as well, as they can't work, would be taken or getting delivered to them at them places, or they'll have some sort of an allowance, a benefit for them to be able to get their own food once they move into a property. But in the hotels, they only get 3 meals a day and a roof over their head. You know what I mean? Why we got all our English people over here, all living in doorways, not got a pot to piss in, having to steal, commit crime to eat. Mothers, single parents, can't pay council tax bills, got thugs coming round their door, shitting the life out of their vulnerable children. It's a choice of them having to put on heat or let their children eat. But there's no help for these people. Like, come over here without a passport, for an illegal activity, which it is, and you'll get 3 meals a day, you'll get a roof over your head. Once they find you a property, which landlords, from what she's just said there, if I'm a landlord and I've got loads of properties and I'm a greedy bastard and I want a stress-free life, I don't want to have to do absolutely anything but kick back and take paper, then that's the deal for you. It's not a deal for you, because you should have a fucking moral compass and say bullshit to this bollocks. But the trouble is, greed is always going to get people where they get people, because greed is a powerful thing. And there's a lot of greedy people out there, unfortunately. And why? Because, I mean, even a landlord now, a landlord could just do a non-fault eviction. All this is coming out. They've got this information. I've got 10 properties. Right, let's get 10 Section 21s in. Get these people out. I'm parked up there for 6 years, getting everything paid for. I've not got a fucking worry in the world. They do all my carpets. They do all my maintenance. They do all my checks. They are literally the tenant. That sounds a good deal to me. Has anyone going to turn that sort of offer down? And then people then end up in the council. They can't get a house because there's a short of houses, because everyone's giving up their houses, because they all want a 6-year contract with everything paid. I'll tell you what, that's absolutely shocking when you've got energy companies putting up all these prices, people struggling like you wouldn't fucking believe, and people are coming over here, which I don't believe are fleeing war anyway, or in war-torn countries or none of that, because there's plenty of evidence that there's not. The genuine ones, so be it. But the ones that ain't so genuine are literally getting housed, getting all their bills paid, their council tax paid, their electric paid for, their gas paid for, their water paid for, and they don't have to work. Oh, no, you don't have to work, sir. You just park up in the house. We're the tenant. Serco's the tenant. We'll take care of all that business for you. You just kick back and we'll sort everything out for you. It's not the land of milk and honey, though. Not for the UK citizens, anyway, or the UK people, or the UK men and women, whatever fucking term you want to use. I'm not even going to get into terminology on the bullshit anyway. And remember who owns Serco? It's your little bum boy, Prince William. For anyone that don't know. And let's remember Queenie was the main shareholder in Bright House, that place that sells electrical goods to people at fucking extortion prices. So these are all criminals, these people, and there must be a massive amount of money being fleeced left, right and centre. Your money, taxpayers' money, as far as this scam that's going on. And as I said, if you still want to pay your electric bills and your gas bills and your council tax bills and your water bills after listening to that, what I would start doing is phoning up your local councils, if you're in a council property, and say, where do I sign on the dotted line for a 6-year tenancy with all my bills paid? Where do I get that deal? Because they're getting that deal, but we're not. All equal before law, guys. Forget about asylum, forget about this, forget about that. These are just people that are coming over and milking the system and getting everything for free. All their bills paid, getting houses. You know, you as a landlord, you haven't got to worry about if the tenant's naughty. Because Serco will come in and take care of all that business for you. You ain't even got to worry about all your Section 21s no more. You ain't got to worry about going to court and weighing out any of your own money. Serco deal with it all for you. Ain't got any problem. I don't even want to put this video out because if landlords do see this, it might give landlords an idea to jump on it. It's like promoting Serco by doing this sort of stuff, which I'm not too happy about, really. But how do we get this information out so people can understand exactly what this fucking government's doing to them? Do you know what I mean? And then offering you 350 quid towards your fucking electric bill. Wankers, mate. And we're all putting up with this bullshit. This ain't fucking right, mate. This country is as dead as a fucking dodo. And we're as brain dead as dodos for letting this crap happen. And then you got to think about all the crime that could come along with all this. We're already hearing about up in Liverpool why they all kicked off because of the girl getting abused up there. They've reported it to the old bill. The old bill ain't done a thing about it. So remember as well that their age of consent is a lot different in their countries and that as well. And you know the way young girls walk around now with all their eyelashes done, their lips done, fucking wearing nothing. Prime target for these sort of people. In Folkestone as well, there's been a report of a sexual abuse case up in there, and also these people out of the hotels going over into the parks taking photos of children and all that. So it could lead to all sorts of things, more children trafficking, but over in here through people stealing other people's children. I mean, all sorts of stuff could end up on the back end of that. And you're going to have loads and loads of people integrated into your communities, getting free handouts without any knowledge. Soon be the minority over here if it carries on like this, guys. Maybe that's the plan. And people are saying these people are soldiers and all that. They might well be. They might well be. So if these are, then we know we're at war. So I suggest we better start getting ready for war then, because if the shit does hit the fan, and everyone's sleeping, and these are all getting 3 meals a day, getting plenty of exercise, using the hotel gym facilities, their swimming pools, and all getting super fit, and you're all struggling to pay your bills, you're under loads of stress, you're already at a disadvantage, guys. And I'm going to leave it at that.